Hey guys, hope you're having a wonderful Friday. As TGIF, thank goodness it's Friday. Glad to be here with you. Live chat is open. If you guys want to hop on and join me here, we're talking a little severe weather action that's in store for Sunday. So I have some information here for you guys about that. We're gonna be taking a look at both the National Weather Service along with the Storm Prediction Center. So let's go ahead and get right to it. This is for Sunday, where we are underneath level 3, an enhanced risk for severe weather. And I have the details here from the Storm Prediction Center. This is what they posted. And live chat's open, by the way, as I mentioned. If you guys want to comment, maybe you have a question about it. But this was issued at 2:32 this afternoon, so a few hours ago, and I also simplified it as well for you. So I like to mention that they use knots for measurement of speed, but we're going to use miles per hour. So I got that converted. Here's what it is: a widespread damaging wind event with some tornado threat is likely late Sunday afternoon through Sunday night from northeast Texas to southwest lower Michigan. The greatest wind threat appears to be from northeast Arkansas and western Tennessee to southern Indiana during the evening and overnight hours. So here is the synopsis of it. And you can see right there, I have it up here where we're underneath the enhanced risk for severe weather. A 115 plus mile per hour mid level jet will lead to rapid amplification as it rounds the base of the mid level trough across the central plains on Sunday. As the associated surface cyclone moves northeastward through the day, strong low level moisture transport will occur across the warm sector. This will result in weak to potentially moderate instability ahead of the cold front Sunday afternoon. The cold front will accelerate east southeastward from the Midwest to the mid Mississippi Valley during the afternoon, and from Ohio to western Georgia and eastern Alabama by Monday morning. So for us here in the Ohio Valley, this is what it's saying here so far. Despite dew points only increasing to the mid to upper 50s, a very favorable kinetic environment will be in place with an 80 mile per hour low level jet and nearly 145 mile per hour mid level jet by Monday morning. Given this wind field, any instability combined with a strong frontal forcing will be sufficient for a powerful QLCS during the evening and overnight hours. Now, in case you are wondering, what is a QLCS? It's a quasi-linear convective system, meaning that we're talking about a squall line. So you can call it a squall line, but what it is, these are just storms that form out ahead of the cold front. And so during the evening and overnight hours. Now, this squall line will likely produce widespread 60 plus mile per hour wind gust with some stronger gusts over 75 miles per hour possible. In addition, very long hodographs with 200 plus SRH will support a thread for line embedded tornadoes, some of which could be strong. The strong shear may also allow for some embedded supercells, also depicted as well, which could locally enhance the tornado threat. Now, even though, and I'll use this as an example here, coming up with the radar I have. Now, prefrontal development cannot be ruled out, especially from northeast Arkansas to southern Illinois near the nose of the 500 millibar jet and along the northern extent of the richer low-level moisture. This scenario remains more uncertain but could pose a greater tornado threat if it were to materialize. So you guys can see right here on the screen that, again, this is for Sunday, that we're underneath an enhanced risk for severe weather. Just based on what I have read from other meteorologists, it's possible that we could also see a level 4. So, with that being said, again, we're underneath a level 3 enhanced risk for severe weather at the moment. Now, I want to go ahead and talk about here. I got this pulled up here for you. This is what it means by way of the severe risk levels here. So level 3 enhanced, about 80 to 85 days per year. We're in the orange air. And the level 4, which is moderate, that'll be red. And again, the higher you go in the threat levels, the less days per year you have, but also it's like the higher in terms of strength of the storms, the possibility of them. So again, depicts a greater concentration of organized severe storms with varying levels of intensity. So we're in the enhanced right now. We'll see if the level 4 moderate will be issued. We're still a couple of days away from that, but it is something to keep in mind. So let's go ahead here, and I want to go ahead and pull up here for you what they're saying so far here in terms of the probability of this. Now, so far, they have not at this time, they have not, let me see here, the probabilities of us getting severe weather, as you can see right here, total severe, looking at about a 45% probability. So for us here in Fairfield, Evansville, Paducah, the Boot Hill, Missouri, Memphis, you're just right there on the edge. Dyersburg, Tennessee. So we're looking at about a 45% total severe. The red right there is 30. Now, I want you to also notice here too that this is something new that the Storm Prediction Center is doing this year. And you see those hatched lines, and you see like those kind of like those dashes right across there. Well, that's the intensity of 1. And this is something new that they're doing this year. Now, obviously, we don't have a 2 yet, but again, we're still a couple of days away from it to where they could actually even have a Cat 2 with it. Now, why I think of intensity 2, I should say. So this is something to monitor here as we get closer to Sunday. Live chat open, by the way. Respond here if you want to. If you want to say hi, if you have a question about the severe weather threat. Now, with that being said, you may ask yourself, okay, what is the time frame for this? You know what? When is it? So I can tell you this right now. This is what this is according to the National Weather Service in Paducah. This is what they posted here. So we're looking at thunderstorms. Again, very windy conditions. Winds could be breezy, 45 to 50 miles per hour on Sunday. So it's possible for Sunday and Monday. Again, thunderstorms are expected Sunday afternoon into the evening hours. Now, severe storms are possible with damaging winds, isolated tornadoes being the primary hazard. But then as you look here on the back side of it for Monday, and I tell you what, it's kind of an interesting situation. You're going to have severe storms for Sunday, but then after that, well, you're going to be having some cold weather. In fact, here is the Fairfield area weather forecast for tonight and into Sunday and Monday. So Sunday, again, chance of showers and storms, breezy, chance of rainstorms 50%. And then you're going to have, again, Sunday night, we talked about the severe threat, rainstorms, 100% chance of that. But then you also have a 40% chance of snow showers on Monday, forecast high 30, rise for Sunday, looking at a high of 71. So we're going to drop 40 plus degrees on, going from Sunday to Monday. High of 71 on Sunday and a high of 30 on Monday. And then Tuesday, sunny with the high of 35. And then Wednesday, sunny with a high of 55. Thursday, sunny with a high of 66. And then Friday, sunny with a high of 65. Now, if you guys recall, one of my live streams I did just a few days ago where, we're in the month of March. All right, March, we know it for March Madness, college hoops. But also March is where it's the first official day of spring is coming up. It's like a tug of war. You have winter on this side, you've got spring over here, and they're just kind of just pulling and tugging and everything like that. Winter's saying, hey, I want it to be longer. And then spring is like, no, I want to arrive, right? It's like a tug of war. And so this is what we're seeing here regarding these temperatures with the weather here as we're getting closer to the first official day of spring. So again, as I showed you guys, again, high of 71 Sunday, high of 30 on Monday. So we're not done with winter yet by any means. as we're going to be having some cold temperatures along with the possibility of some snow showers as well. All right. So, one thing of note here that I want to do, and I should have pulled this up here and I didn't. Let me go back here real quick. As we do have the weather story, let me pull this up here as well here for you. So this is the weather story from Paducah, and this is what they posted at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Line of severe storms is expected to develop along a strong cold front Sunday evening. A few storms may develop ahead of the line over southeast Missouri after 4 p.m. Increasing risk of widespread damaging winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. Also, increasing risk of 75 plus mile per hour gusts for the entire quad state in the hatched area. We talked about the hatched area right there. So far, we're in the 1 intensity, could possibly get up to 2. We'll wait and we'll see on that. Also, quick spin up tornadoes are possible along the line of storms and very fast storm motion. So we're talking about a squall line that not only is going to have these wind gusts of 60 to 70 and possibly over 75, it's going to be a fast moving line. It's going to hit fast. It's going to hit hard. Also, should also limit the heavy rainfall flash flooding potential. We've had a lot of rain lately. I've been seeing how the creeks are overflowing out of their banks. Also, weak instability is the main limiting factor, but it should be overcome by the strong frontal forcing. So, and again, we're at level 3 enhanced risk for severe weather on Sunday. So I'm looking at Mount Vernon, Albany, Vincennes, Evansville, Fairfield, Marion, Harrisburg, Carbondale. You got Paducah, the Boot Hill, Missouri, Dyersburg, Tennessee, Jonesboro, Arkansas, Vincennes, Indiana. So right where that red is at, that's the enhanced risk for severe weather. We talked about very breezy conditions as well. The wind speeds here. Again, it's possible. Marion 45 by about noon on Sunday, 41 from Mount Vernon, Illinois. So it's possible over there in terms of the maximum wind gust. Even higher gusts are possible. Also, talked about the brutal cold as well. We're going to use Mount Vernon, Illinois as a reference to this. But you also look at, 23. It's crazy. For the minimum temperature, that is, for Mount Vernon, 13 for Tuesday night. And then if you look at the wind chill, it's going to feel like 3 degrees on Tuesday night in Mount Vernon, Illinois, and 10 on Monday. So again, it'll be brutally cold waiting for the bus as well. Make sure the garden hoses are disconnected or risk frozen pipes. And Monday through Wednesday, it's going to be cold and blustery. Also, the possibility of some light snow. Here's the latest on that. It was issued at 2:30 this afternoon. But again, light snow is possible Sunday night into Monday. So not only do you have the storms to be worried about, but also, again, with the cold temperatures, could have some light snow, but low confidence and accumulation as the ground will be warm. But again, up to an inch of snow is possible, mainly on grassy and elevated surfaces. So one thing I want to mention here, we talked about the tornadoes. We go back to a few days ago when, Kankakee, Lake Village, Indiana, how they had the EF3 that come through. I want to mention this here. Tornadoes, all right? We've seen the stovepipe tornadoes. We have seen the wedge, the big, huge tornadoes. Now, I think there are people who are confused a little bit by this. It's not the size of the tornado that determines whether or not, like this tornado, like for example, the Kankakee Lake Village, Indiana tornado was an EF3. It's not the width of the tornado, how big it is. It's the wind speed. And so I have this right here for you. This is the enhanced Fujita scale. And of course, the EF3, as a reference, 136 to 165 mile per hour. Damage was severe. Entire stories of well-constructed homes destroyed. Severe damage to large buildings such as shopping malls. So that is the enhanced Fujita scale. And again, it's determined by wind speed. That's why you see The National Weather Service damage survey crews go out and survey the damage. They take photos. They'll get some eyewitnesses of the property and just look over the damage. And they use a formula to determine, okay, use the metrics to determine, okay, this was an EF3, as we talked about the Kankakee, Lake Village, Indiana twister a few days ago. That was an EF3. Now, one category I forget to put on here, it was reported in Pontiac, was EFU. Now, I don't have it listed on there, but EFU, that means Enhanced Fujita Unknown. They don't know, they can't determine the wind speed that tornado caused in the Pontiac, Illinois area. But this is a good reminder here for you guys about the Enhanced Fujita scale. Again, it's not the size of the twister. It's not the size of it that determines its EF rating. It is the wind speed. And there was some confusion about that I saw on some social media sites about it, because I think when people automatically see a wedge, they think, oh my gosh, it's an EF5. It's not. It's not always that. All right. So in this case, this one was an EF3 that hit the Kankakee area. Was it severe? Absolutely. It was severe. It caused severe damage up there. And also that cell, think about the hail it dumped. 5 to 6 inch hail. I mean, hail the size of DVDs and larger, shattered a state record. And when we look at this, I know it's March, and I know that we're in the third month of 2026. Whenever we look back at this year, at the end of the year, and we think about all the weather events that happened, there is no doubt in my mind that that tornado, what it did, that supercell that struck Kankakee Lake Village, there's no doubt in my mind that that cell will go down as one of the most notable supercells that we have seen so far in 2026. No doubt about it in my mind at all. Hi, Kenneth. Good to hear from you. Hope you're doing well. And so anyway, guys, I want to mention that because, and also one thing I've noticed about meteorologists too, I've seen it a few times, and it's something that it doesn't irk me, but it's like, I wouldn't say that. Now, obviously, when it comes to velocity data that comes in, where the winds are blowing toward the radar and the winds are blowing away, I've seen and have heard meteorologists say, "Oh, this could be an EF3, this could be an EF4," and it's like I don't like that, because it's like it kind of evokes a little bit more fear into the viewer a little bit. I mean, it's a serious situation, don't get me wrong, but it's like I would not say that. I would just go by what the National Weather Service cranks out, like, "Hey, a tornado's been observed, a large destructive tornado." I have seen that language being used before, so it's something to take note of. And so that's something that I've heard a couple of times the past few years. So just don't always assume like, hey, this tornado is is an EF4 or whatever. So before I go, I want to go ahead and remind you guys of this. And I mentioned it a few days ago, and it's coming up here. But this is posted on the Wayne County Emergency Management Agency Facebook page. And I want to go ahead and pull that up here for you. So give me a moment here. Let me slide this over here. There it is. So, hey, want to give these guys a shout. The Skywarn Storm Spotter Training Basic Spotter course. Become an official National Weather Service Skywarn Storm Spotter. It's brought to you by your National Weather Service, which would be out of the Paducah office. So learn about different weather phenomena and how to report them. The class lasts 2.5 hours, and all course material is free. Be held on Thursday, March 19th, 6 o'clock at Frontier Community College at Bob Boyles Hall. Jeff Jake, he's the local contact for the Wayne County EMA. The NWS instructor is Andy Lesage. I believe it's how you pronounce his name, Lesage. I could be wrong on that. But registration is required. You can scan the QR code, which is pictured right there. So if those of you may be watching on your smart TV, you could do that. Or you could go to the Wayne County Emergency Management Agency's Facebook page. Or you go to weather.gov/PAH/spotter training. I would like to say for the record, I took this course years ago before the Fairfield Police Department, before they They took over the armory where they're currently at today off Liniger Road. I will tell you that this course, very informational, very beneficial. I'm taking it because I know that it's been several years since I took the course, but I enjoyed it. And plus, there's been a lot more storms that have been covered since then. Plus, the radar technology has gotten better. There's things that we have learned since then. I wish I could tell you the year I took it, but I remember taking it at the Armory years ago, and there were several in attendance. I've registered. I know that talking to a couple of people, I've registered as well. So I want to go ahead and mention that. So, oh, thanks, Chris. Yeah. Okay, Kenneth. Yeah, I'll get to your question here in a moment. But I want to say that I highly recommend this course. If you guys, maybe you haven't took this in years like I have, and you want to do a refresher, more than welcome to. Or maybe you've had a fascination with weather, you want to help out. As I always say, your reports are helpful. Your weather reports, whenever a storm is in your area, what it's impacting your community. We talked about the 5-6 inch hail, for example, that the Kankakee supercell dumped. I mean, you saw the photos on social media. It was crazy, right? But that was valuable information. That information was vital for the National Weather Service and Storm Prediction Center that, hey, this is a supercell. It's causing damage. It's not just the tornado side of it, but the large hail on the north side of that supercell. So, but again, that is coming up. So, Kenneth, give me a moment here. Let me do something here. And I'll pull this up here for you. Those of you just happen to join me here. So here is the timeline here for this. This is what they're saying for Sunday. Again, a line of severe storms is expected to develop along a strong cold front Sunday evening. A few storms may develop ahead of the line over southeast Missouri after 4 p.m. Increasing risk of widespread damaging winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. Also increasing risk of 75 plus mile per hour gusts for the entire quad state, which is the hatched area. Quick spin-up tornadoes are possible along the line of storms. Now, the one thing about tornadoes is you have the squall line. You have a squall line form. It's going to be moving fast. As we can see right there, it's going to be a fast-moving line. But whenever you have these tornadoes spin up along the line, it enhances the damage. It increases the damage. It's not just the wind, which the wind can cause damage, but if you have a tornado spin up, it can do that. Also, weak instability is the main limiting factor, but it should be overcome by the strong frontal forcing. But again, this will be a strong cold front moving through our area this Sunday. Thanks for watching here, guys. Do you have any questions for me? Feel free. But this is for Sunday. I'm just trying to get the word out in advance. I know it's a couple days away. There is the possibility we are in the level 3 enhanced risk for severe weather, but it is possible that we could see a moderate risk for severe weather, which would be a level 4. It's possible, has not been announced yet, but again, given this situation, especially when you consider how fast the squall line be moving, the wind speed, the possibility of it being, again, 60 to 70 miles per hour, but also the possibility of 75 plus, and then coupled with the tornado potential, I would not be surprised, again, if it were to be a level 4 moderate risk for severe weather. I would not be surprised at all by that. But again, it's something of note here as we continue on. Hi, Christina. How are you? Tell Nolan I've not seen him at the gym in a while. I was there last night. Tell him that he needs to continue lifting. He can't slack off. Can't slack off on the job. All right? We don't want that. We don't want that. So, guys, that is about all I have here. I know there's a lot of information to process, but this does help in terms of getting the information out, in terms of getting the latest in terms of the weather situation out there, because I want you guys to be aware. I don't want you guys to be, excuse me real quick for a minute here as I do this. Christina, I like to go in the evening because morning I'm like, I mean, 5 a.m. is not bad, but it's like, I usually wake up at 6. So that's what I do. But guys, again, this is information that again I just want to keep you guys informed about what's coming up for Sunday. But one thing I need to do is I need to play pickleball again. I haven't played in a while. I need to pick up the paddle and start playing again. So guys, obviously the rest of the night we should be good. Let me see here. I'm using the wrong mouse. Duh. This is what I get here. So we should be good for tonight. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high of 62. But again, Sunday is the day that we're going to be focused in on. I'll pull this up again here for those of you guys that may have missed it. But this is again, high of 71 on Sunday, high of 30 on Monday. A 41-degree difference. That's just nuts. That's absolutely nuts. Yeah, Chris. Oh, thank you, Kenneth. I appreciate it. I do my best to keep you guys informed. I'm not a licensed meteorologist. I just have a fascination with weather. By the way, also a little over a month away from now, April 21st will mark 24 years since the F3 tornado that moved through Wayne County. I survived that tornado. I did a live stream of my account of it last year. Got some good response. And plan on doing it again this year. A little over a month away. Hard to believe. 24 years ago? My goodness. Yeah, Christina, I do need to get back into it. By the way, I call your father-in-law Wolfpack because he always wears an NC State cap. It's like, yeah. Yeah, Kenneth saying storms in the snow. Yeah, Kenneth, that's the thing. It's a 1-2 punch is what it is. It's like you have the storms for Sunday, and then you've got the snow and cold on the backside of it after. So it's interesting 1-2 punch, but it is that time of year when you have it's I tell you, it's crazy. Yeah, Oklahoma. Been to Oklahoma. I was there about 9 years old. Let me think, was it 9? Yeah, I was 9. I wasn't 10 yet, but I was close. I was there about a month after the 1999 Oklahoma City tornado hit, and I still saw damage. That was, I know Aiden Eckleberry's out there in Oklahoma right now, by the way. I know he moved out there. So God bless Aiden. I hope he's doing well. But I will say this about Illinois weather. Illinois weather, to me, it's volatile. It can be because you just don't know what to expect. It's like you go from like this on Sunday, high of 71, squall line, tornado threat, and the next day you're looking at blustery cold. It is just so, it's crazy. Yeah, he always has sports on TV. Yeah. Yeah. Hey guys, it's been fun here. Thanks for joining me here. Again, I'm happy to bring you some weather information about this. So with all that being said here, guys, I've got this up here for so long. So I haven't had supper yet, so I plan on eating here in a few minutes. But I hope that this information does help. I hope that, I know there's a lot of information in the process. You guys can always go back and watch it, share it as well. Or even like if you know someone who maybe doesn't know about the weather for Sunday yet, tag them in the comment section, be like, hey, this is a recap for it. So what's for supper? Christina, to me, I've got some mac and cheese with tuna. Now, I will say this. Make your mac and cheese and put tuna in. It's like tuna mac and cheese. It's good stuff. Now, when I was a college student at Eastern Illinois, I know that take a bottle of barbecue sauce and pour it after you boil your pasta and everything, you put in the cheese. Put some barbecue sauce in it, stir it up. It's pretty good stuff. I'll tell you, if you go to John's Butcher Block in town, I think Save-A-Lot has this as well. I recommend a bottle of Howdy's barbecue sauce. It's made locally by Harold Howe. He lives east side of town. I've not met him in person, but the sauce he makes, the barbecue sauce, I've used it on chicken. I've used it on meat. I've used it in mac and cheese. It's good stuff. And there's like a sweet sauce to it and like a hot sauce to it. The hot's got a little bit of a kick, and I handled it quite well. But look up Howdy's if you get a chance. Made locally by Harold Howe in town. I think it's a sauce that's underrated. Um, Ranch powder goes good with mac and cheese. Yeah, Kenneth, I agree with that. I agree with that. There was I was at a marketing we had a marketing meeting today, and we went to HV in Alney. If you've never been to HV in Alney, it's worth checking out. Good local eating establishment. One of the guys, one of my colleagues, he had a bowl, and it was like a Bentley bowl is what it was called, and he had mac and cheese in it along with some chicken. Looked really good. I had the Firebird is what I had. I had a grilled chicken sandwich with some barbecue sauce in it and lettuce, tomato, onion, cheese. It was really good. Kenneth, I had to try that ranch powder. I had to try that ranch seasoning. That sounds pretty good, actually. I know with tuna, I had a hickory smoke tuna that was actually pretty decent. There's also a sweet Thai, and then there's also ranch tuna. I have not tried that yet. The Great Value brand you buy at Walmart. Guys, we're talking food here. I like talking about food. I really do. Um, I want to show this again here for those of you just maybe hopping on here. I know we're talking food and everything, but just to recap here again, enhanced risk for severe weather for us on Sunday. Hidden Valley Ranch to be exact. Okay, Kenneth, I've seen it. And so I do have some ranch dressing at home. I do have some ranch powder, I believe. I believe I do. Ranch seasoning, powder, what do you want to call it? It's either way, really. But you guys can see it right there. Enhanced risk for severe weather on Sunday. Again, the time frame appears to be about the afternoon to the evening hours. As long as I have power and internet here, I plan on live streaming this. I really do. I think this is, when we look at what we've seen so far in 2026, this is the first severe weather event for us that I am concerned about. I know we had one go back maybe a month ago, something like that. I can't remember exactly the day, but I tell you what, this is something that I am concerned about, and we have seen squall lines in the past hit Fairfield and cause damage. So I'll try. Cause I've been eating healthy, and so it's tempting. It's tempting, man. I've lost 20 pounds, and I want to keep eating healthy and staying healthy. So, all right. Well, guys, hey, thanks for joining me here. I went a little bit longer because I was talking about food and I got carried away with that. But nothing wrong with talking about food every now and then. So, hey, guys, thanks for watching. Again, I hope this information was beneficial, was informative. I'll check out tomorrow to see if there's any more information about it. If there is, we'll be hopping on here. Depends on when Paducah releases more information. I have a feeling we'll have some more information. Excuse me. So I think we'll have some more information tomorrow morning from Paducah, along with the Storm Prediction Center about the severe weather potential for Sunday. So in the meantime, as always, keep your eyes to the skies. Always be weather aware. Always be on your guard. And thanks, guys, for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Stay safe this weekend, and also have multiple ways to receive warnings and weather information, because I tell you what, all it is just basically where, you just don't think, you just act, just go. When a warning is issued, just act. Don't think about it, just act. Enable your severe weather preparedness way if you don't have one. Highly recommend that you create one. I know what to do in the case of severe weather. I've had to leave the live streams a few times last year to get to my garage because I live in a trailer. All right. So I'm just saying, always have a severe weather preparedness plan. All right, guys. Thanks for watching here. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday and stay safe this weekend. And I should see you guys on here tomorrow. We'll talk some more about weather and everything. So take care, guys.